Black History Month is American History Month. African Americans have been woven into the fabric of our nation since before its founding. And we have contributed in so many ways to shared values I think we all have as Americans. It is the honor of my professional life to return home to Baltimore, Maryland, which is the community that raised me and nurtured me as a young girl. And to come back in the role as the first woman of color to serve on the district court is just a tremendous honor. One of the things that really drove me was the opportunity to be in a court where little girls who looked like me and grew up like me could see me in that role. There weren't very many women in the law when I was coming through, very few women of color. In terms of the judiciary, I would say, for me, that was never something I kind of had a master plan that I was going to one day become a judge, but it was through interacting with others in my professional career, and they saw things in me and encouraged me to consider a path to the judiciary. My parents are both educators. They both went to historically Black colleges and universities, so certainly that tradition in the African American community of higher education and service to the community is something that was always a part of my life growing up. I spend a lot of time now as a judge volunteering, mentoring young girls to encourage their education and continued education in the collegiate level. Mary McLeod Bethune and Dorothy Irene Height were two women that I grew up hearing about, reading about like in Ebony magazine. And they were just like larger than life figures in terms of women who were exceptionally well educated, engaged in the community, and particularly used all of their experiences or access to powerful people like the President of the United States, but they use that power to lift up their communities and particularly to empower women. So they were two women that I always looked up to. Not surprisingly, they're both Deltas, so that obviously shaped my choices personally in terms of sorority. I'm a very proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, which is the largest Black women's sorority in the United States. Its focus is sisterhood and service, primarily towards the African American community, but the sorority is involved in many aspects of American life and international life. My graduate fellow, when I was an undergrad, was a member of the sorority. She was also a law student at the University of Pennsylvania, and it was through her and observing her as a young student that I thought perhaps I could become a lawyer one day. It really took seeing someone, particularly a woman of color, pursuing that career to convince me that it was a path that was realistic for me. Well, I would say to a young person, don't be discouraged when things are not successful or you make mistakes, but know that you're building on a future with every step that you take. And be comfortable asking people that you see doing things that seem interesting or inspiring about their past. And you will find that we've all had challenges, but again, those challenges probably got us to where we are today. It's a great honor, the honor of my career to be in the role I am in right now. And I hope that my thoughts perhaps inspire someone to consider a path to the bench, to consider an opportunity for service in their community, and to understand how important that is to our country.